What's up, y'all? Kendama, and I'm here with the Kendama review. Today's review is going to be on a very sought after clear coat, and that is Friction Clear. First of all, let me go shout out Jacob. Jacob gave me an awesome deal on this Tama right here, and I said I'd do a review. It's been a long time, but I finally gotten the time to actually play it and all that stuff. And I'm done lagging, so here's the review. Thank you, Jacob. I really appreciate you sending this out. I did not forget. And then John, I bought this from you for a good deal, so I appreciate that. Thank you so much, John. John's the GOAT. A lot of you know what Friction Clear is, but for most of you who do not know, Sulab is a company based out in Japan. They used to have a really big team. It's kind of smaller now, but there's a couple people sponsored by them, and it's super sought after because of how durable it is, the really cool colorways they have, the awesome trackability of their colorways, and all that kind of stuff. It is kind of tough to get one of these Tamas because you have to buy like a membership or something, and then through the membership you get like priority in buying them, then you have to pay shipping, that's really expensive, and all that stuff. I got all of mine secondhand, so I don't deal with the membership or anything like that, but if you know more about the membership, go ahead and comment about that. But yeah, I got all my Friction, all of this stuff secondhand. We're gonna go over just about everything we can talk about on this clear, and there's like a lot, but not a lot to talk about. I've been fortunate enough to have this on two different woods. I have this on maple and I have it on ash. And I do have to say the paint does bond pretty similarly to it. I haven't found the biggest difference in play between the maple and the ash. Just like all clear coats, I'm gonna say this for every single clear coat, there's differences in batches, but one of the best things about Friction Clear is that I feel like this is the most consistent clear all around. I've seen less bad Friction Clears compared to any other in-house kind of clear or anything like that. And even when it's not as good, it's still pretty good. You see the grain on the ash on this Friction Clear right here. And then obviously maple's not as porous, so you're just gonna see, you know, grain normally and all that stuff. I didn't really have a preference over one or the other. You might get slightly more grip on the ash one, but for the most part, they play pretty much the same. I played beach ones. If anything, those might be the best ones. I think Friction bonds the best to beach. I have the great pleasure to talk to Miguel De La Torre. He's a slayer. If you don't know Miguel, if you follow me, you probably know Miguel, but he's been sessioning a beach Friction Clear for the longest time, and that thing is beat to death. The bevel's gone, but all the paint's pretty much still like playable, which is pretty insane. But yeah, he says he's preferred beach. I think they're all great. I think they're all really good. If you wanted to be really nitpicky about it, I would go beach, ash, maple. That's how I would do it. I will have to say, other than the beach Tamas, the ash and the maple bevels are kind of interesting to break in. These Tamas were before the crushable bevel, so I had all, these are boosted, like John boosted this one, I think Evo boosted this bevel, and then I had Quad boost this bevel for me. But as you can see, they're not really broken in, and I played them. This one's kind of broken in. The bevel's kind of softened up. On this ash one, super hard to break in. I've noticed on a lot of people, like their bevels are super hard to break in on their Friction Clears. I don't know why. It doesn't have anything to do with the clear. Maybe it's just the wood that Sulab uses, but definitely interesting for sure. Going over general playability of this is like, yeah, this is arguably the best clear ever playability wise. If I were to put a grip slip ratio on it, it's either 80-20 or 70-30. So that means you can still adjust on your tricks, which is probably one of the biggest things, is that sometimes Tamas are too sticky and then you get the Tama rocking off. This literally, like, it will stop after micro adjustments, and you can make micro adjustments after micro adjustments, which is probably one of the best things you want to look for in a Kendama clear. Also, the in-hand feeling is really nice because Friction Clear is a matte clear. I've always preferred matte clears over glossy clears because once you get your sweat on glossier clears, it kind of just ruins the whole thing. And I've sweated on both of these Tamas, and I will say, the grip didn't really change. Maybe you have acidic sweat, or maybe your sweat is literally the craziest stuff ever, and that is breaking down / making your paint a little bit more slick. But for me, that I haven't run into that problem. Sweat's not a problem on Friction Clear. Every single lunar, every single lighthouse that's been caught on this thing has been great. I will give the caveat, if your cups are getting a little too soft, I can see some situations where you might get some rocking and stuff, but that's just the wood being softer and gripping onto something harder. On newer Kens, or just, you know, very nicely broken in Kens, slip, stop, all that stuff. Perfect on this. Aside from that, one of the other like biggest things about this is the durability, and this is probably the most durable paint ever in life. Friction Clear is an investment. If you're getting one, pick a color you really freaking like and just keep it and play it forever. I've seen friction clears last for 2 years. I have some friends lasting up to 3 years. Unless you play your bevels really hard and stuff, you really won't need another one if you're playing, you know, normally or not seshing super hard. Jacob Watson, my 2022 NACO Day 1 vlog, talks about his friction clear. We talk about this in that video. It is a investment. He dropped it off a cliff and it was still good. He got it back and he still played it. And I saw the tama that he dropped off the cliff and it looked good and still played good. If you want to be a collector, you can be, but you really don't have to be a collector because the tama pretty much lasts as long as you need it to for a normal kendama. As you can see right here, it's pretty much only dents. Like, yeah, it's pretty durable. It's pretty durable. I don't really slam this on concrete, but even on the concrete slams, you probably can't see them because that's just like, same with this right here. There's like maybe the lightest flaking ever in my life. But yeah, that paint is still intact. I'm sure if you took a knife to this and started tapping at it, maybe the clear would come off. But there's only been very few situations where I've seen people have like really, really poorly cured maybe on the clear where their paint came off right away. Yeah, for the most part, most of the friction clears I see, durable, tanks, all that kind of stuff. Make sure you like the wood that it's on. Make sure you like the colorway a lot. And you'll probably go through 5 Kens before you need to replace your friction clear tama. That's how durable this paint is. It's amazing. I use this one in comp. I use this at LVKO 2024, and let me say it was really, really nice in my freestyle run. Even though I didn't win, this tama came in clutch for all my balance tricks and stuff. Compared to other stuff I've used in comp and freestyle, in 2023 I was using a Shibui tama, but that tama, every time I got sweat on it, I just like was losing my lunars and all that. I had to wipe it down between rounds. Didn't have to wipe this down at all in my freestyle run at LVKO 2024, which was awesome. On this question, Ken, just a really good ultimate setup. Yeah, slip grip was perfect, all that kind of stuff in my experience competing with the friction clear right here. Haven't gotten the chance to really use this in comp yet, but on this Lotus Element, I will have to say this is probably like one of the most primetime setups I've ever played. The tracking's there, the lunar's there, the lighthouses are there. It's really nice. I flow so well on both of these and I love flowing. I love just going in between whatever tricks I want to. And these 2 setups right here are like my go-tos for when I'm practicing freestyle, all that kind of stuff. With Battle at the Border coming up, I'm seshing these, and until I get another Ken until I break these Kens and replace them with the same Ken shape, yeah, I'm probably gonna use these tamas. If we compare this to other things in the market in terms of matte paints, if we're talking about like friction, if we're talking Rhino, if we're talking Revo, and all that kind of stuff, this just kind of meets in the middle of all of those different clears, because some of them are too slick sometimes, some of them are too grippy sometimes, but this is just like the perfect like mix right here. And that's why you see a lot of people using these. If we're talking Kush, the playability is about the same level. It's just Kush isn't as durable as this. Rhino, because the tamas themselves aren't being designed in-house anymore, and they're coming from China and then getting cleared over, the durability isn't as good as it used to be. And that's probably the closest feeling to this paint. And then Rev is just way grippier than this, and sometimes too grippy, and then it's just a little bit less durable, and sometimes a lot less durable than this paint right here. And then there's Neo. Neo is just a lot more slick than this and not as durable as this either. This is why this is the king of all of matte paints and paints in general, but price and attainability. So as of recent, I feel like I haven't heard a lot about people like not being able to get friction clears. I feel like there's enough in the market now, which there's secondhand stuff, which are pretty high in price. Like a single tama you'll see for like 80 to 100 bucks if it's like a rare colorway, or 80 bucks if it's newer. And the reason why it's that price is because shipping is expensive. These are sought after. There's an actual market for it. Now, do I agree with that or not? I don't necessarily like that, but people are paying expensive shipping and they are buying a membership and all that kind of stuff. So when you add it together, when you buy it off Seuss site, maybe they're about like 50 or 60 bucks or something. And then when you add in the shipping costs, like it all kind of makes sense in the end. I'm not the biggest fan of spending like $60 to $80 on a tama, but if you're only getting one of them, and you're committing to it and you like the colorway and you like the wood choice, I think it's a good investment, especially if you're gonna take competing in kendama very seriously. If you want something reliable for your comp setups, this is the way to go right here, definitely for sure. Now, someone can make the argument that you could get like 2 other cleared tamas from Depot or something that are matte cleared and have cooler designs or more interesting designs. I will say that is like a very good option because you'll have multiple different designs and multiple different things for the same price. But I promise you, those will break down in paint before these do ever. So price-wise is also gonna vary. I got really lucky on these 2. This was before crushable bevs, so they're actually a little bit smaller in diameter. So I think these are like 60 or 61 millimeter tamas, so they're a little bit a little bit smaller. Newer ones I think are a little bit bigger, and they got the crushable bev, which is super awesome. All that is to say though, you don't need this to compete. Obviously you can compete with any kendama that you want to, but if it's within your means and you have a colorway, or if you see something on the secondhand market, get one now. These are great, these are amazing. These will take you a long way in your kendama playing and all that, and I definitely think they're worth it if you get one. You don't need to get them all. If you get one, super worth it. If you have the means to get more, cool. You really only need one for how durable this is. Now that is my review of Friction Clear by Sulab. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you think I missed anything, please put it down in the comments down below. This is an open place to talk about whatever. If you disagree with me on something, let me know. It's all good. If you guys enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe button, hit post notifications so you can be one of the first to watch these videos when they come out. And obviously sharing the video goes a long way for the channel. This is KendramaCo Kendama, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.